Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to finally another video by the one and only College Collector, aka your favorite statue reviewer, aka Teal Couch Reviews. Shout out Gem Mint. What I got today, as you can see, the XM Studios Lizard. I haven't gotten a statue in like several months. I think my last one was around May, XM Carnage, I think. I've been taking it kind of slow. You know, I moved houses, new job, and all that stuff, so the statues kind of took a little bit of a backseat, but now I'm back in full swing. So as some of you know, I kind of took my collection in a different direction. I kind of sold off most of what I had and been kind of just starting over with a focus on Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is my favorite comic book character of all time. And he has, in my opinion, the best rogues gallery of villains, followed closely by Batman, but I like Spider-Man's villains more. So I've just been trying to take my collection, keep it a focus around Spider-Man. So it was a no-brainer. I had to at some point pick up Dr. Kurt Connors, aka the Lizard. And this is an incredible statue. I can't wait to talk about it. So just a bit of backstory on the character, first of all, because I've discovered that not many people know too much about my boy here. So Dr. Kurt Connors was a scientist who lost his arm. And, he kind of went through like stem cell research and all this, science shit to try to get his arm back. And he used DNA from lizards because, lizards grow their tail back when it breaks off. So he's like, yo, what's up? If lizard gets his tail back, I can get my arm back. And it worked. He would get his arm back, but then he would like spaz out and become this thing, become a lizard, and just, become like a killing machine. And I always liked the dynamic between, Kurt Connors and the Lizard, because in a lot of the Lizard stories, Kurt Connors is fully aware that he is the Lizard, and he like actively at least the earlier stories, like in his first appearances and whatnot, he like actively tries to stay away from his family because he knows he'll hurt them. It's not just like, oh, he became the Lizard, now he's just a mindless killing machine. They actually kind of, it's smart, smart writing, and that's what makes this character one of my more favorites, for me at least. So yeah, I had to get the statue. I love the character. So this is by XM Studios, obviously. This is part of their Sinister Six line. The Lizard wasn't an original member of the Sinister Six. He joined later. It was like a bunch of different iterations of the Sinister Six, and he was in one of them. So this statue was sculpted by, I think I'm saying the name right, Avi A.Y. I don't want to say the name wrong, so apologies if I do. It's only limited to 500 pieces, so it's a pretty low edition size. I have number, I think it's 405. So nice and low. I dig it. Sculpted in cold cast porcelain, which is what XM tends to use for a lot of their statues. I think all of them. And this thing is fucking gigantic. It's not that tall, really isn't. It's like, I think, my shortest statue, just because he's crouched over and because of the pose. But he's like massive. The base, keep in mind, this is sitting on a 12-inch Lazy Susan. And you can't even see I don't think you can even see the Lazy Susan under that. The base is absolutely gigantic. The statue is just huge. I mean, this is a quarter scale version of the Lizard, so it's gonna be damn big. Again, not that tall, but it's big. It's XM Studios, so the quality's all there. It's nice, heavy, sturdy. All the parts fit well. Actually, no, not all the parts fit well. I want to go into that. The sculpt on the skin is fantastic. It's one of the best I've seen. They really nailed the like bumpy scales of a lizard. They got it down pat. I love it. The paint job is flawless. There's different shades of green and there's blacks, and I love it. This is one of those paint jobs that really, really pushes the statue over the edge for me. The lab coat is what most people like complained about the statue. They said it's like too thick. It looks like fondant. And seeing it right here in person with my own eyes, it really isn't that bad. I don't know what all the complaints are about. Because it's not even just only white. Like, it has some shading too, and like some dirt on it, like shading to mimic dirt. Because this guy's like in a sewer where the lizard spends most of his time when he's not Kurt Connors. So naturally the lab coat would be a bit worn and pretty dirty. It was like tears as well. It is smooth and pretty thick, but it has like a matte feel to it. And I think that the simplicity of the coat contrasts well with just how like overly detailed and textured the lizard actually is. Because even his shirt and his pants, I'll do close-ups later, but just at a glance. His shirt and pants, even those are textured as well. So if everything was textured, I wouldn't like dislike it, but I think it's a nice contrast. The base is just like a huge circular part of the sewer. Doesn't have too much going on. It's just some murky like water with parts of, I don't know, a grate or something, whatever he's standing on. I do wish that they had done the water like maybe with a more clear material. But I do see what they were going for. Like, it's dirty, murky water, so maybe clear wouldn't have been the best choice. Who knows? But I dig it. I really like it. What else can I talk about? It's an amazing statue. It didn't come in that many parts. For XM statues, usually like require a lot of assembly, but this was just the base with one part. This actually comes off as well. The lizard's body was one part, the arms come off, the tail comes off, and the head obviously comes off because there is a switch out. I want to talk about the tail for a bit, because I heard people say that the tail is a bitch to get in, but it is a bitch to get in. But I can't even fault XM for this, because look where it's at. I don't know if you can see, but it really, there was no easier way it could have gone in. But I'm telling you, I was sitting there, I had to get up under him, stare up into his fucking ass for half an hour trying to get this tail in. It's annoying. I find that some XM pieces are kind of hard to get the body parts in. I actually had a little bit of a hard time getting him on the base too. The peg wouldn't align. Even on Venom, XM Venom, I had a tough time getting his foot on the base. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm an idiot, who knows? But once everything's on there, and once it's all assembled, this is a beautiful statue. No one ever talks about this. No one really talks about the statue, and I don't know why. It's fantastic. I love it. Let's go into the switch out head. So the head that I have on him now is the more modern looking head, which resembles like a dinosaur, honestly. That's what it looks like to me. And I really like it. The colors, the skin tones, and the scales as well, it kind of meshes better with the body. It's kind of the smaller scales. But you also get this other head, which looks more like an actual lizard. Put that on. This is huge. Look at this. I'm holding this in my wrist, in my hand. Big ass head. Yeah, so you also get this one. The scales on this head are, bigger. Like I said, it resembles a lizard more. And it kind of matches well with the tail, the legs and whatnot, where the scales are a bit bigger. So both heads, have their merits. I have a hard time picking the one I like more. I had them displayed with this one actually for the majority of the time I had them for the past couple of days. But just last night, I said, fuck it, switched it up to that. They're both great. I love them. People say this is a classic head, and while it is more classic than that, when Lizard's early appearances, his face was still pretty flat. It was a human head, just looked like lizard textures. So I'm kind of glad we didn't get a head like that because it would have looked whack. But it definitely is the more classic head out of the two, but I wouldn't call it a, actual classic head. I think it still looks pretty, like if they had included this and then another classic head of the flat face, like this definitely would be a more modern interpretation. I think that's it. There's not much going on in this. I'll show you the art print it comes with actually, because as you know, XM Studios is a baller, and they give us art prints with all the statues. Take notes, Sideshow, Prime 1. This is the art print. I dig it. I need to get my XM prints framed or hung up somewhere. I have that Venom print. I have the Carnage print, but that one's whack because it has the tongue portrait and I don't like it. But it's a nice print. I like it. I mean, the prints aren't that big too. They're small, which is nice. It doesn't take up too much space, but it still has what you would want in a art print for a statue. Plus, they come with the statue, so I can't complain. Again, take notes. A Sideshow used to include art prints back in the day, but now like, hey, we could sell this separately and make money. Any final thoughts, maybe? Something about the statue that I've been kind of noted, like that kind of came to me over the past couple of days as I had this, is that it's a very, and like I'm gonna say the word and it's gonna sound like I'm dissing this thing, and I swear I'm not, because I love this. It's like one of my probably tied for my favorite statue in my collection right now. So just keep that in mind. But it's a very dull statue, and again, I know dull usually means it's usually meant negatively, but that's not what I mean. I just mean dull as in nothing really. The colors are very not muted, but there's nothing really that pops or stands out in terms of the paint, in terms of color-wise. And I like that, I really do, because when you think of the lizard, when you think of the character, the lizard, you think I don't think anyone really thinks of a vibrant, bright green, character, and the base is rightfully dark, rightfully muted. So I like the direction they went with this, because usually I like a more popping paint job, but with this I love it. And the paint is done flawlessly. I mean, I really have maybe I have a couple of little paint flaws on the coat, but it only just makes it look more worn to me, so I don't mind. I like the paint on the nails. It's like jet black, really dark jet black, perfect. The paint on the heads, more so this head, it's not shiny or glossy, but it kind of gives off that effect at certain angles. The inside of the mouth and the tongue are kind of glossy as well. I really dig it. And of course the packaging and quality, everything was great. Nothing broke. Everything came, shipping this tail would be a nightmare. The tongue and the head are one piece. The tongue didn't break, it's a little flexible. They purposely made it that way. So I think that's it. That's all I really got to say about this. I'm glad to be back picking up statues. Like I said, it's been a while. I think next up, I got a fan art Hobgoblin coming from a buddy of mine. Can't wait to review that. I've been waiting for that one for a minute. I got Iron Studios Punisher. I don't know when that thing's coming. It's just getting delayed to hell and back. I got a couple coming. I'm looking to pick up a new Spidey villain too. I was thinking Sandman next. I have currently a pretty good offer for him, and I want to scoop it up, but I don't think I have the space. That thing is gigantic. It looks huge in pictures. I don't even want to picture how it's going to be in person. But yeah, thanks for watching as always. I'll cue a little slideshow close-ups or something after this just so you can take a look. Appreciate all of you, each and every one of you who watched my videos. Leave a comment, drop a like, let me know what you think. Did you love it? Did you hate it? If you hate it, let me know why. Know what I can do better. And until next time, hopefully soon. Until next time, keep it real, keep it teal. See y'all.
Something could change, or a train could arrive. They'll call me a name I won't recognize, and I will sing along as long as we're moving. I don't care if we're lost. Eyes bleeding shots, 5 o'clock in the morning. Mind in the sky, and the night got storms. Keep waking up, and it's tough when you're lonely. Tough when it's closer to home. Yeah, I've been thinking about growing wings, not growing up. Yeah, I've been thinking about going somewhere they can't touch. Something could change, or a train could arrive. They'll call me a name I won't recognize, and I will sing along as long as we're moving. I don't care if we're lost.
Soon as that yellow light change, we pull off in that range.